Ladies and gentlemen and motherfuckers alike, I am here with your raw review. And I didn't like this show one bit. It left a bad taste in my mouth and it reminded me why the current product is on a road to nowhere, a road to shit. It's like reminds me of Back to the Future. Biff just ramming his fucking car right into a manure truck and just a bunch of shit falling on top of him. It's exactly how it feels when watching WWE programming. I feel a bunch of shit just coming right into my lap every single time. We start off with Seth Rollins kind of promo. And, good promo. Rollins is definitely improved on being entertaining and funny because they send him out there every single night to do it. Every single Raw, they have him come out there and just cut a promo. And, sometimes when it's uneventful, it could be extremely boring. And right now, he's in a feud where nothing's going on because that guy's nose is broken. Now, I don't know why they can't have seen this show up. We've had, many wrestlers who supposedly had their noses broken, like Test and a bunch of others, and they always show up. I don't understand why Cena can't show up, why he's injured to cut a promo to accept the challenge of Rollins. So anyway, Rollins calls Cena a coward and all this. Says you have Cesaro coming out. He wants to challenge Rollins for the title, but he says there ain't an open challenge tonight. Owens comes out, and this is all fine and well, and then Orton has to come out. And funny thing is, Orton's allowed to make fun of Cesaro and Owens, but they're not allowed to retort back. It's kind of strange that, somebody comes out there and insults you and you're not allowed to say anything back to him. It's like, fucking Orton goes, oh, looks like you've lost weight, Owens, because Owens is a little bit overweight. Cesaro, he makes fun of his glasses, but no one says anything back to Orton. It's all fine and well. Nobody says anything to him. Where's the retorts? Orton's about to go about his business and he gets in the ring and then makes a challenge. Why don't they fire back against him? I mean, it's like a two-way street. It's a conversation. They're all holding microphones. This is what Stone Cold talked about when he was talking with Wade Keller on his podcast. No, this wasn't on the network. It was on YouTube. You could go watch it. And it really rings true. Why, when you have wrestlers, do they just stare at each other and make googly eyes when they don't just fucking say something back to the other guy? It makes no sense. I'm like sitting there like, Orton's allowed to make fun of him and they're not saying shit back to them. Doesn't make sense. It's not realistic. And yes, it's a wrestling world, but it doesn't make a fucking lick of sense that you just stand there and you take insults like fucking punching bags. Owens is supposed to be a badass and they're trying to build up Cesaro. So why are they standing there just taking it? Taking it on the fucking chin. I know they say you gotta take it like a man, but for God's sakes, act like a man and fucking say something back to the guy who's insulting you. So Triple H comes out and makes a triple threat #1 contenders match, and that person who wins is going to face Rollins later on in the night. Then you have your first match. It's the Team Bella defeating Team Bad. I'm bad. I'm bad. All right. Anyway, but at ringside we've got PCB, and you might be asking yourselves, who the fuck is PCB? Who is this team? And PCB or PCP, which it sounds a little bit too much like PCP, we'll call them for now on. Fucking illegal substances sitting at ringside, I guess. Anyway, PCB is the Submission Sorority, and it seems like that team name that has not made it even a week, and they've already fucking changed the name. Like, we're supposed to forget about it. Here's the thing, when they come out with a name or something, if they don't like that name, you can't just change it a week later. This is like if they decided they wanted DX to be called BX or some shit, and a week later they just change it. I understand maybe if you want to change the spelling a little bit, they've done that throughout the history of the company, but changing the name of the whole team just a week later, what the fuck is this? I mean, that looks cheap as hell. They're just gonna change the name, like they just introduced them. This is gonna be the Submission Sorority, and they're submission wrestlers, so that's why that's their name. Now they're just PCB, which is just an acronym for the first letter of each of their names. What the hell is that? What a cheap ass name. Everyone's Team Bella, Team Bad. These aren't great names, but they make sense, sort of. The PCB, like, oh, it just rolls off the tongue. What the hell? I mean, come on. What was wrong with the submission sorority? It's females that do submission moves. It's not the best name in the world. It ain't a tough ass name. It's not a name that's gonna be remembered for years to come, but it's a name that fits and it's decent enough. So why change it to something lame like an acronym? It doesn't make sense. Where's the taste? Where's the logic that you don't just change the name a week later? This match wasn't amazing or anything, of course, because it's Team Bella. I think a lot of fans would be happy if they just did away with Team Bella and we just had the other two teams pretty much. Um, PCB is a shit ass name just to close with that. Then it was New Day defeating Los Matadores, and why did they even bother with the Matadors anymore? It's quite apparent that no one has ever taken to the Matadors, the lame ass, colorful masks. The most over person in that team was the Bull. Fucking El Torito was the only one who got over. The other guys, they just proved that they're just a lame tag team. And they're Primo and Epico. And even the primetime players cut a promo saying that's who they were. So what the fuck is the point? If no one is behind them, they might as well stop with the lame-ass PG attire and just put them back to Primo and Epico. Not like they're an amazing team or anything, but if they're going to keep them around, why the hell do they have to wear the lame-ass outfits? If it's not even over, there's not a point to them dressing like that. The whole point of making them Los Matadores was to change their character in an effort to get them over with the crowd, because they sure as hell weren't over before. So seeing Matadors jumping around the ring is not my idea of great entertainment. Match was all right, didn't suck, and it wasn't great. And we're the primetime players. They're just in the back watching it on the monitor. Why are they not at ringside commentating? Why are they not making a boring match like this exciting? If they're the champions, I like the idea of having them at commentary. This week, they're like, oh, you know what? This week, we're not going to have them on commentary. The fuck sense does that make? Titus O'Neil was entertaining on commentary. It was the best commentary I heard all night last week. So why don't they fucking just put them on commentary when it's a match concerning them? Then they make the match backstage. It will be a fatal four-way: Matadores, Lucha Dragons, primetime players, and New Day. Then it was the triple threat match. It was Orton, Owens, and Cesaro. This was a great, exciting, fast-paced match. Only problem, bullshit fucking ending. So Cesaro, they're trying to build him up. They've been building him up, but he hasn't even won a match since he's been back. Owens, he lost to Cena, but you really feel like the guy is kind of lacking direction. Also, he just lost to Cena. They should be giving him more momentum to get back on track, to make him seem extremely tough and unstoppable. But guess who wins the match, guys? Randy fucking Orton. Yeah. Yeah, because that's exactly who needs to win. As they said on commentary, the guy's probably going to win his 13th championship. And they're even saying, oh, he might get near Ric Flair's record. And that very well might happen. Because Orton doesn't seem like he's, going to be going anywhere in the future. Seems like he's going to be there to stay, unfortunately. But why, when you have two exciting athletes in the ring, do they have to go back and have Orton be the #1 contender for this match? Now, I know the eventual result, that happened in the main event, but come on. Can we even, at least for a minute, believe that Cesaro or Owens could be a champion? Why does it have to be Orton? Oh, coming out of nowhere with an RKO. RKO out of nowhere. Oh, this is such an innovative spot, guys. Fuck off. This is so stupid already. How many years have they been doing this? Hard fought match between, a better wrestler than Orton. Orton getting his ass kicked, or this scenario with a triple threat where somebody else has been more deserving, and deserves to win. What happens? Orton comes out of nowhere, does 2 RKOs, and gets the pin. When Cesaro and Owens are wrestling, it's a lot better. It's faster paced. It's more exciting. They look more like they belong there than Orton. Orton's just still doing the same shit he's been doing for the past 10 years. DDT on the rope, fucking clotheslines, then the power slam, the same shtick over and goddamn over again. Not one thing has changed in the man's moveset. But oh no, let's give the opportunity to Orton. No, not Cesaro or Owens, who's more deserving, who've been working their asses off and having great matches as of late. And the best matches on the show, the only good matches on the show, is what they've been having. While everybody else is stinking up the joint, these are the only guys that appear like they're trying, or they're allowed to try, whatever it is. But Orton, again, with that stupid, retarded fucking RKO out of nowhere. Just when you think your favorite wrestler, more talented wrestler, is going to win, it's a RKO out of nowhere. Fucking out of nowhere. Everybody has to come out of somewhere. It's not out of nowhere. It's Orton just rolling back in the ring and hitting a predictable RKO. Fuck off already. This is, just stupid. You want a good, well-designed finish, not this out of nowhere bullshit. Same thing. Cena does the same finish. Oh, it looks like the other guy's gonna win, but then Cena jumps off the mat and hits a fucking attitude adjustment, and that qualifies as a win. The hell is this? They get beat up and then they come back, and like they look like they're at full strength hitting these moves. This is just the dumbest thing ever. That's not a satisfying finish. That's a piece of shit. And, I could live peacefully in the wrestling world if they would get rid of these surprise finishes already. That's dumb. Then you have Luke Harper defeating Dean Ambrose, and I was happy Harper won. I think that they could have had a better match, but I guess it was all right. Happy to see Harper win a match after not winning a match for like what seemed like a year. Harper being like a 6'7" jobber, it made no sense. He should be winning matches. There's no excuse why Harper never is allowed to win when the guy's fucking huge. I mean, years ago you wouldn't see this. A fucking giant pretty much losing a match. Not only that, but not only is he tall, which is what McMahon wants, but the guy is a good wrestler. And they've shown that he can cut good promos. And in fact, his promos are better than Wyatt at times. They make more sense. If you could cut a promo that makes sense, why is and you're a good wrestler and you're tall and you fit the bill for what it means to be a wrestler in McMahon world, then why is this guy, why hasn't he been winning more lately? Instead, he's got to go back and suck Bray's cock in order to be allowed to win again. Then it was Miz TV with Daniel Bryan back, and I was happy to see my favorite wrestler back again, but it was kind of uneventful. Still the same thing. Oh, Daniel Bryan's injured. We knew that. We knew he's not cleared to wrestle. Trust me, we read the internet. And that's it. Before you know it, the Big Show's in the ring and the whole crowd is chanting, please retire. And here's the thing, WWE. You see how the whole arena, not just this one, but every single one that Big Show goes to, that they're chanting, please retire. Yeah, there's a reason why they're chanting. They want him to retire. Are you clued into it? Are you getting some context clues as to what people want the Big Show to do here? Please retire. What could that possibly mean? It means to fucking retire him is what it means. If you have a whole crowd chanting, perhaps it's time to look at it. Big Show's been wrestling for over 20 years now. He's always been slow, boring. He never had that many great moments to begin with. They always try to make like he's a great promo guy by giving him the mic, but he's not. And he's never been Mr. Entertainment. All he is just a joke of how many times he's gone between face and heel. And what is he here? Miz is a heel and he's going after Miz. So is he a heel? But he also doesn't like to face Ryback. So does that make him, a heel or a face? I don't understand. He is a face against Miz, but a heel against Ryback. The fuck is this? It fucking hurts my head trying to think about what they're trying to do here. As I said, wrestling shouldn't be this complicated. Now I know, we shouldn't have it should be like the Attitude Era. There shouldn't be, clear cut heroes and villains and stuff. I get that, but can it make a little bit more sense? You still knew who the heels and the faces were, even during the Attitude Era. So it doesn't make a lot of sense that they would go back and change his character again. Changing the character again over and over and goddamn over again is fucking tiring as hell. They can't figure out what to do with him. They get him off TV, changing him face, heel, and now I'm seeing on the same screen in the same segment the guy's acting like a face and a heel. I can't figure it out. What is he supposed to be? Is he supposed to be one or the other? Make up your fucking mind already, because they've been doing the same thing for like 10 years. Then you got, forgot. So, yeah, Ryback came back and we're excited. He did the yes chants with Bryan. I don't understand why Bryan and Ryback are such good friends. you got my title. Let's celebrate. What the hell? Anyway, then you had Rusev defeating Mark Henry. So Mark Henry is once again reduced to that of a jobber. Like I said, why do we keep Mark Henry around if he can't even, win a match? The fuck is this? And how many times are we going to have Henry come back? And, he's making sporadic appearances, and all the appearances he makes on Raw, he loses. Can we like make up our minds already? Is there like some kind of thing that they have against Mark Henry where they want to make him look like a loser? The guy looks like he's on his last legs. He's slower than ever. There's no purpose to having this guy still around. The fuck, just again, retire. He's been there long enough, close to 20 years, just as long as the Big Show, pretty much. So why not look at getting this guy at least in an out of ring role? At the very least, just have him do something outside of the ring, because you're just gonna have him lose in the ring. It makes no sense. Lana was on commentary. She says that Ziggler, he's not ready to come back yet. Then you had Summer Rae beat up Lana, and she puts her in the accolade. I thought that was pretty entertaining, and Summer was wrenching all the way back. It actually looked pretty good. So, decent end segment to a shit ass match, I guess you could say. There's, even with positives, you can't escape all these negatives on this show. For every good thing they do, there's a bunch of shit just covering it. Then you had Neville coming out to defeat King Barrett in like a minute. The fuck? Here's the thing. Barrett has now come upon his 5th anniversary in the company. And, when he first came in, they beat the shit out of Cena. They tore apart the ring. It was a revolution. Fast forward 5 years into the future, and Barrett can't even stay in the match for a minute. What could really be said? Barrett's career is like a fucking joke. The minute he gets truly over with a gimmick, with Bad News Barrett, they change it in favor of the King Booker gimmick that's not even over, that no one likes. Nobody wants to see him in this role. He wins King of the Ring. They do shit with him, and now he's losing matches. The fuck is this? Come on. Do something with him. Instead, no. Who gets attention? So Stardust comes out, beats up Neville, goes to ringside, and we've got the actor Stephen Amell there. Now, this is the Green Arrow. Now, not to say that this show's not popular, but it's not Sons of Anarchy. It ain't The Walking Dead. It ain't a big-time show, as much as it was. I haven't really watched Arrow. I used to be a big fan of Smallville. I watched Gotham, which is an excellent show, but these shows don't get the most ratings, so it wouldn't make a lot of sense to put them on there. I could see maybe somebody from The Walking Dead or somebody from Sons of Anarchy, but the star of Arrow, Stephen Amell, this seems kind of B-list. It's not one of the most popular shows. It's not one of the least popular shows, but it's not exactly one of the most highly rated shows. Now, that's neither here nor there, but you have Stardust pie-facing Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell gets pissed off, jumps over the fucking barricade, and starts beating the shit out of Stardust. And what does Michael Cole, the lead announcer, do? Instead of saying what a despicable act Stardust was doing, and this is what Stone Cold even said, maybe it's not Michael Cole's fault, maybe it's not any of their fault. But Michael Cole says, that's something you don't do. He says, even if you're, a guest here, you shouldn't do that. Instead of saying how Star just attacked was basically a fan, this is a vile act or something, show some emotion to the storyline at least. Stardust just went to an audience member and pie-faced him. He was acting like a bully. He was acting like a heel. And they don't even react to this? you know, they're saying he's wrong. Can you imagine if JR was there? He would have been all over Stardust. My God, that was a heinous act, but no, we don't get that shit. Instead, we get this, oh, he shouldn't have done that. That's not a good thing. That's against the law. Fuck off. Are you serious playing the Mother Teresa act here? Even Byron Saxton was like, oh, but he was provoked, and then JBL and Michael Cole jump on Saxton and tell him that he's wrong. Why is Brian Saxton acting like the voice of reason here? It should be Michael Cole saying how wrong Stardust was and really putting him over as a heel. This commentary is beyond fucking awful. It's the worst shit I've ever heard in my life. They don't even react to situations. I complained about this during Elimination Chamber. I remember when I really had enough of the commentary come Elimination Chamber. You had a big match with all this steel, people getting hurt, people flying off of the structure, and Michael Cole's basically just saying, oh wow, or not even reacting, and just JBO saying, oh wow, that was crazy. No excitement in their voices. They don't even seem like they want to be there. Backstage, it's Stephen Amell yelling at Triple H, showing more personality than any wrestler has had in years. So, Stephen Amell's allowed to act like a tough guy, a fucking actor. And then they make the match. It's going to be Stephen Amell and Neville versus King Barrett, who just lost in like a minute, and Stardust. And this is your SummerSlam match. Now, I know they did Marina Menounos, whatever, at WrestleMania a couple of years ago, but the fact still remains that was a Divas match. And people kind of expected that from the Divas before they had this whole NXT invasion. So, we weren't really expecting a lot, but this is the best they could do with Neville, is team him up with a B-list celebrity. And I know people or fans of the show are excited about this, but really, celebrities getting involved in the matches has never really been that, welcomed, to be quite honest. Having celebrities outside the ring like Hugh Jackman punching Dolph Ziggler, that's good. That works. I enjoy that. But having him wrestle a match, having an untrained guy in the ring, SummerSlam, 4 hours, and this is the best they could come up with. 4 hours, this card should be fucking epic. They have more than enough time to put together an amazing show. But instead, the best they could come up with is a tag match. There's tag matches all over this fucking thing. We're going to have a tag elimination match with the Divas. Tag match with Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. Tag match with fucking Dean Ambrose and Luke. This is lazy. Tag matches are lazy, especially on a pay-per-view. It's one thing if it's on Raw so you can promote matches. Sometimes you can promote 2 or 3 matches, by putting all the guys together, But now we're going to just have 3 tag matches. Okay, the Divas is an elimination, so it makes it more interesting. But now one of these tag matches is Stephen Amell. Did anybody see what was wrong with this whole segment? Because I'm seeing there's some Mama Lukes who said they enjoyed it. Number one, the segment was not as over with the home audience as it should have been. Because Michael Cole didn't even react. We had no reason to, react to this segment. If Michael Cole's not going to react to it, the fucking commentators who work there, who are supposed to be making like this is real, why should we care? If the announcers don't care, why should we? That's what Michael Cole said. What Stone Cold said on his podcast. It's all about what the commentators say. They set the mood, they set the tone, so do the wrestlers. But the announcers are out there. They're the guys that you hear most clearly. So when they're just fucking jerking off, not doing shit. It makes no sense for them to just sit there and not react or react inappropriately when they eventually do react to the situation. They're not appalled. They don't despise Stardust. They're not ridiculing him. Instead, they're making like Stephen Amell's the bad guy. The hell? Once again, this is not hard to figure out. Bad guy picks on good guy. You should be ridiculing the bad guy, not the good guy. Where's the logic? Where's the sense? Do they even go back and look at this shit and look how retarded it sounds and looks? Then we got your main event. It's Orton and defeating Rollins by disqualification. They make like Orton's about to win, because if Orton's not going to win, he has to look like he's about to win. No, don't give this to Owens or Cesaro. Give the moment to Orton. Match was like 7-8 minutes at best. Not awful, but couldn't really get into it. There wasn't enough there. Sheamus pulls Orton out at the last minute, then tries to cash in, but Orton hits another RKO. That's all Orton does is RKO people all fucking day long. And here's the thing. What the fuck did this show mean to SummerSlam? Yes, they made like 3 matches that we knew were going to happen anyway. The Stephen Amell segment, was supposed to perhaps be a feel-good segment or something, but it made me sick. It made me realize how bad this fucking company is, and they couldn't even get that right. They bring in a celebrity, and they don't even make it feel special. In fact, they make the guy sound like he's a fucking criminal, criticizing him for defending himself. Oh, how dare you defend yourself, Stephen Amell? You're a bad guy because you're breaking the law. I mean, this is a wrestling world. Yes, in real life, if you jumped into a wrestling ring, security would take you out. But, they're telling a story here is what the thing is. And when the hell did WWE get obsessed with, fucking being realistic and being logical? This is the one night where has to happen. SummerSlam is looking like a 4-hour piece of garbage, to tell you the truth. You got matches here I'm not even interested in seeing. Cena has a very good chance of becoming champion again, and you just have so many bullshit matches. Most of them are tag matches. 50-75% of the card is tag matches, because they're trying to get everybody on the card, I guess, but 4 hours is not enough to work with. How much extra bullshit is going to be on this card that they need that much time? 4 hours for SummerSlam. The thing is, they have a hard time getting through 3 hours. They're going to move it up to 4 hours. Fuck is this? Come on, pick a time that's more realistic to work with. Do you really need those hours of content? You can't find a way to condense it into 3 hours. They're making like SummerSlam has been so fucking awesome these past couple of years that, 3 hours is not enough to contain it. Why the hell are they just expanding the pay-per-view another hour just for the sake of expanding it? They're not even promising anything else. How is this going to improve? They're going to drag out certain matches. They're going to add more retarded segments. Because I'll tell you this, I know it's not going to improve the quality, because that never does. 3 hours of Raw, what has that yielded? Fucking bullshit is what has come of it. That's all you got. 3 hours here, 3 hours turns into 4 hours. I mean, my God, expanding times like crazy. Enough is enough already. You've got more than enough time to work with. Fucking just should have left it at 3 hours. Where the hell did they get the idea to move it up to a 4th hour when they ain't even got anything planned for it that's worth a damn? This is garbage. Fucking Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns versus the Wyatts. We've seen this match 1,000 fucking times, and said they're each missing a member. So it's like the Shield versus the Wyatts from a year and a half ago, but just it's not going to be as good. And it just feels like these are Raw SmackDown matches at best. No, sorry, motherfuckers. I did not enjoy this show. Good triple threat match, but this is garbage, and they have one more show to go before SummerSlam, and the energy level is like on the floor. It's just it should be through the roof, but it's motherfucking subterranean. There's no way that anybody could be excited for a show like this unless they're taking PCP, like PCB, motherfuckers. Fuck off. This was a terrible show. Show made me just so lifeless. This was another show where I came home after work and I kept falling asleep. I was trying to watch it on YouTube. I had to keep rewinding it because I actually fell asleep during Ambrose and Harper. I had to rewind the whole match and watch it again because I fell asleep right in the middle. Fucking horrible.